Hello, everybody, and welcome to the ZLBpodcast. This is episode 85, coming to you live on this Easter long weekend. Although I'm not sure if it's really a long weekend everywhere, but it's definitely a 4-day weekend here in Australia, which is really something to celebrate. Most people celebrate by eating themselves into a coma. Some people disgruntledly visit family members. Some people enjoy visiting family members. But most of the people that will be either listening to this podcast or watching this podcast enjoy the extra time for gaming.
You'll definitely come across a lot of creeps.
Where have all these cancelable opinions?
You guys, your boobs at 60 feet.
That was a picture of my boobs.
That's it. That's the title of the podcast.
They're rock hard.
That's great advice.
Welcome on in, Shelby. Zoomed in.
Hi, I'm sick.
No, you're Shelby.
Oh yeah, sorry, I'm Shelby. Hi, I'm Shelby, and I'm sick.
And welcome on in, Tame.
Yo, what's up?
I'm not sick. Well, not yet. Anyway, we'll see. We'll see how it happens next.
It's only a matter of time.
Always a risk when you live in a shoebox and one half of the shoebox gets sick.
Mhm.
That's fine. Way to get sick on what is the long weekend for Easter.
The problem is that my parents were meant to come and visit us, and I was actually genuinely keen, and I was like looking forward to going out for lunch and like having a chill time. And no, my luck has run out. Honestly.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good thing that you felt that you were getting sick, so you had an early night and got plenty of rest and everything, right?
Oh, we were up until like
2 a.m.
playing Thieves.
No rest for the body.
One of the my biggest complaints about like streaming, particularly streaming Sea of Thieves, is it's never less than 8 hours. It's always
It's an all-night commitment. You know, usually they're cracking out the bottles of rum. They're getting real comfortable.
did get through a good half a bottle of rum.
He
I think
prepares and like buy snacks in advance.
Frog went through a whole bottle of Southern
did he?
Comfort.
Damn.
He was getting a bit rowdy towards the end there. He was getting a bit how you going? And then when he learnt that you can both yell and whisper in game to other players, then it was on for some ASMR shenanigans.
Oh man.
Truth be told, though, that game has evolved. Sea of Thieves is still like what Sea of Thieves is now is what they sort of like when they announced it is how they kind of sold it originally. Is it's finally gotten to that point where you can go and have adventures and shit just happens constantly. Where like I think one of the biggest complaints when the game came out first, it was like, oh okay, we have to sail to that island. Well, we'll just send the ship in that direction and we'll go get like a cup of tea and have some lunch, and then we'll come back and we might be at that island by now if the wind gets behind us, and that's it. Now it's like, oh shit, I just need to bring the ship from this island to this island. Oh, I'm getting attacked. Oh, I'm in a tornado. There's friggin'
Yeah, there's a megalodon.
There's skeleton ships coming out. Oh, there's another player
What's
ship.
that music mean?
Yeah, it's definitely what they needed. They definitely needed something like that instead of just fucking floating from island to island
Yeah,
without nothing happening.
now there's just constant stuff happening, and like as soon as we loaded into the game, I'm like, oh, I should get my settings and everything done. And then like, oh, there's a ship. There's a player ship. Oh, we're getting destroyed. We're sunk. We're done. So
Too late.
God damn. But it's fun. It's a fun game. The only thing is with that is they need something to bring the players back. Like they need more. Because the people that are playing now, they are sweaty. It's just it used to be like, whoa, we just accidentally run into each other and you're bored and it'd just be fucking free for all and this shit. Nah, there's none of that anymore. These people were like sniping you and you can barely see their ship. And it's like, what the fuck? How'd he hit that headshot?
They're just snaking up from
Hacking.
Grass is
way
what I
out.
the
Yeah,
amount of times I was accusing people of needing to go touch grass yesterday. Either that or cheating. It can only be one or the other.
Yeah, definitely.
There's definitely Sea of Thieves hacks out there.
Oh, there is. Yeah.
There is.
Yeah.
There's
But-
hacks in everything.
But what are you gaining by cheating in Sea of Thieves?
No, I guess it makes them feel good. Like you see that headshot?
Yeah, but okay, maybe if like there was lots of other people playing, but you probably spend 4 hours looking for someone just to do your one headshot.
Pretty much.
And that person cracks the shits and uninstalls the game, and then that's it.
Hates it
It's
because of you fucking cheaters.
there's not many games where it doesn't matter how much you play, you're still like your power level's the same. Like it's a skill game.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah,
not like,
everyone's equal footing.
yeah, it's not like you think of like, let's say Call of Duty, for example. You grind it until you get a fucking grip and a, scope and whatever. And next thing you know, you're better than the other person who doesn't have the grip and scope. There's just all the guns are the same power level. Everything's exactly the same. You just grind for cosmetics. That's it, really. And titles. There's nothing else. There's nothing else in that game. But I can't think of a single other game that's like that. It's always like, you
It's
can
always
level up or
something.
whatever.
But
Yeah.
it is cool. It's refreshing. I do like it. And I'm glad to see that it's got so much more to do because honestly, it did definitely used to be bare bones. And I remember when the first time that the vaults came out and we were super excited about that and they were super satisfying to do. And we grinded like 10 vaults in a row. And they were like, well, that's enough for now. Play it a few more months' time. But now it's like consistent things. I can see myself playing it definitely more regularly. Even before the stream yesterday, I logged on by myself and I picked up some quests really easily and got myself to an island, did some digging, found some stuff, and it's easy to just pick up and just start.
Yeah, we did do the shenanigans thing, which I'm surprised it worked. It usually takes like a couple of hours, but we got it done in like half an hour, where we can get 2 boats in one server, and we can ally up and get all 2 crews onto one boat, and then things should be easier. But it's like, well, we have 5 people. There's no excuse that we can't trim the sails or not.
No,
Still
there
can't
is an
fucking do the sails.
Look, the reason that we were struggling a lot is because there was a naked homeless
That's
man on
not
the
true
ship
at all.
vomiting on people.
I'm like, we need to pull up to here. And I'm like driving this up to the freaking island. And I'm like, all right, let's get the sails up. No one at all. Drive straight past the island. I'm like, well, that was the island. We have to do a U-turn now. And everyone's like, oh, sorry about that. Sorry about that. Then we drive past the island again and no one puts the sails up. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And all you little loot goblins were doing was just counting your loot, ready to go.
There's this phrase that's, birds of a feather flock together. And I think that you attract some very chaotic people. You attract other chaotic people.
Let me finish first, all right? I would like to play the game once where I don't have to captain the fucking ship.
But you're the streamer. You have to captain the ship.
No, I don't.
Yeah, you do. That's your job.
I'm always captain
I'm a good
the ship.
salesperson. I'm going on
adjust
the
the sails. I have to. I'm always behind the wheel. I don't get to do cannonball shit.
Yeah, nah. Whoever's behind the wheel should just stay behind the wheel.
I have for fucking 5 years.
And then
Right,
get
I'll
one
do it
person on the
next time.
sails.
I'm an excellent captain.
It makes it easier. I'm always not dropping the anchor.
I've never been in a crew. Like I've watched streamers and stuff like that, and they're like a fucking unit, right? Like they're on those sails, they're adjusting them, they're doing mad fucking tricks. Never been in a crew like that. It's always who vomited on who. Why are you doing that? Don't explode that keg here. Why'd you shoot this thing there? Why aren't you on the boat? It's just always it's babysitting the fucking crew.
To finish what I was saying, and I said birds of
go
a
on.
feather flock together, right? You've got a lot of chaotic people. And I'm pretty convinced that 80% of people on the ship last night have ADHD.
Yeah,
So,
80%.
I feel like
Yeah, that's 4 out of 5. So then just me, the captain, and then the 4 people getting naked, fishing drunk on the ship.
And I've got the part where I've got the
My
back
point is,
dyslexia. You tell me left, I go right.
It's
Like,
a 3
just-
yeah. You go, all right, sails hard left, and you can always tell which one Shelby's is. It'll just start going right immediately. It's like, no, Shelby, left.
Yeah.
But it's a 3-person ship, and we had 5 people on it. We still couldn't fucking achieve anything. So next time when we get like 8 people and put on a 2-person sloop, and then that's it. There's no excuse. There's only one sail.
But then, no, the excuse will be, well, I thought so-and-so was doing the sales, because everyone else will be like hands off because they'll be like, there's not much to do, right? That's going to be the problem.
The only thing is that the smaller the ship, the less cannons. So if we had a galleon, I think the record once we put like 12 people on a galleon.
12 people. 12 people
Oh,
on a
really?
galleon, but at one point we also just had all 3 ships sailing together. It was
Yeah.
pretty cool.
So you imagine that from that perspective, all 4 cannons are just constantly firing when you pull up a side or something, and it just destroys people. It's so much fun. I can understand where Sea of Thieves would be like, yo, we don't want to encourage that. Kind of like, we don't want to make it easy for you to invite your mates, because you'll just get 20 of you and go and destroy those little 12-year-olds who haven't sunk a ship yet. But at the same time, it's so much fun.
It's great.
Just to get like so many people on a boat and do stuff together. But you can get private servers if you're a partnered Sea of Thieves partnered streamer or creator, I should say.
One day, maybe.
But you don't earn gold and rep from that.
That's okay. I just prefer the adventure.
No, I want the gold and rep. We made like 200,000, 300,000 gold last night. That was pretty fucking good.
Oh, did you?
I
Wow.
spent a lot of it. It's, a crate of fireworks is 20,000 gold.
Oh, the
if I didn't
fireworks. It's so cool.
The flares, the signal flares are great.
I
think
just
they're
love the
really
fact
good.
we're like, okay, we'll just sneak around here. We don't want to get, flares? And just start shooting flares everywhere. No, it was good though. Sea Thieves was good. I think probably like once a month or something like that, like a community night sort of thing, and try and get
Yeah.
multiple people into a server and do that. There's definitely some other people. A few people like popped in like, wow, I haven't played this game in ages. Like, yeah, it's pretty good.
Get on it. It's good.
There's still those sweaty non-grass touches that have lived in the ocean forever who will just come and fucking headshot you constantly. And like they would literally kill us all, climb on the boat, fix the boat so it doesn't sink, and then camp our spawns. That's the kind of non-grass touches they were. Assholes.
Just waiting for you.
Yeah, we fought those guys a couple times actually. But then we were the opposite people at the very end of the night, being nice to the little kids that we ran into, and we gave them our ship and let them blow it up. And
I'm not
gave 'em
gonna
our
lie,
loot.
I did think about after we fixed in their ship, just lighting it on fire and seeing what.
Wow. They must have been like 10 years old. You know, they were quite young. They were very excited to see how pretty our ship was, but then they were like, "We've grinded for this all night." And then, you know, it felt
They
really
had like
bad, but
6 chests or something like that.
yeah, so we showed mercy.
We did. We showed mercy. But yeah, no, Sea Thieves was good. I mean, no, I'm a bit of a rare software fanboy, and I know that they're working on something new at the moment, as well as continuing
Yes.
support for Sea of Thieves. But like, unless they do something drastic, Sea of Thieves is never going to get that player count to come back. So if they ever want to do new stuff, they're going to have to make something new. They were working on a weird game that was like a wildlife simulator kind of. They said they couldn't describe the genre. It was something different, and that just
That's
kind of
weird.
evaporated. Like that was years
Oh.
ago. It was probably like 2018 or something like that. I don't remember. But yeah, after watching that, the doco they put, Sea of Thieves put a doco up on their channel. I'm like, oh yeah, the good times. I just remember all this like good shit that happened. But yeah, it's at the point where people that are playing the game constantly got nothing else to do than sink everyone, and the people that want to come in and screw around get sunk before they get a chance to screw around. So
You ever watch Pace?
Ace, no.
Pace 22?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's a man. He's dirty as that guy. Like people are running to with their like Athena chest, and then he snaps them on the island and takes it off.
Yeah, there's a few creators that I know. There's even a few that like we know that are OCE creators, and they just do some shit, and you just go, how do you like the ship's in the distance, and like he's in the water, and you can see the ship going. He's like, I bet you they've got something in the mast, and he can't even see it, but he just knows the lead, the bullet shoots it. And you just see this big cloud of smoke because obviously it was full of explosives, and it just melts the ship. And I'm like, how? I can't even hit them when they're standing 2 feet in front of me. You shot a
Yeah.
bloody explosive barrel that you couldn't even see in the distance. And shit like that, they just pull it out of their ass all the time.
Sometimes I wonder if there needs to be some sort of like ranking system for you to be put into servers with other people.
There's not a
close
big
to
enough
your
player
level.
base for that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's not there.
Like if somebody has only made like a certain amount of voyages, they go with the other new people.
I mean, there's always been an argument for a PvE server,
yeah.
but it kind of like you're meant to be pirates. That's meant to be part of the pirate life. Is you run into other pirates and you get all rowdy. I remember they had there was one time they were playing it fairly regularly, and then the meta was like pistol sniper. So you hit them once with a pistol and then swap to sniper, and you could almost shoot them 2 bullets at once, and it just insta kill people. That was the worst because everyone was just out for blood, and they wouldn't even shoot you. They'll just board you and just start popping you. I'm like, God damn it. But they do a lot of balancing and stuff and fixings. But yeah, it's a good game. I enjoy it. I enjoy that kind of shenanigans. I kind of wish that like Skull and Crossbones, for example, would be out, so we had some other pirate content to play.
Well, hopefully that comes out soon.
Picked up. There's a couple other sort of multiplayer pirate games, but I don't think they're big, particularly not big in Australia, which means you got to play on US servers to get a player base, and then I don't know, that's going to work greatly. I've also picked up like if I see any pirate games on like PS4, I've picked them up just to see like just do some content. So like games like Risen and stuff like that. I've picked them up. I haven't played them yet, but just to try and scratch that pirate itch where possible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, pirate stuff always hits different.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, so that's it's been our Easter really because we played that for so long yesterday.
Yeah, we played that. I've been sick, so that's all we got going for us,
Yeah,
really.
I've been playing more Crime Boss Rockay City. The game's not good. I just want to say, like, there's so many things that are kind of meh with it.
And yet you keep playing.
It has the gameplay loop that I love. It's got the secret ingredient, which is if you keep playing it, good, bad, or indifferent, you get stronger and then eventually become overpowered, which is my favorite gameplay loop. I'm the kind of guy that will stop playing Final Fantasy and then go back to the starting area and just grind mobs until I'm overpowered and then go back and fuck everyone up.
You're one of those people. Yeah.
So I've just been doing the loop, and I'm getting stronger and stronger. Obviously, I'm still dying though, so I haven't finished the game. But it's like every time I do it, they reward you with like another 10% damage. I'm like, fuck yeah, that sounds good. Or here's a gold gun. I'm like, fuck yeah, I'll take that. Next time's gonna be great. And then I do something stupid and die. I'm like, well, next time. Coming back stronger, baby. It's that gameplay loop that I just really fucking like. It's the same with like Pokemon when you just like overtrain your Pokemon and then you go to a gym that's like level 20. Like, yeah, well, look at my level 40s.
All of my early experiences with Pokemon, I would only ever really play with my starter Pokemon, but like I'd play really slowly. So I'd get up to like level 100 and I'm just smashing through like level 40 and 50 gyms, just killing everybody. It was great.
Yeah, so that's just that gameplay loop of, hey, you get stronger no matter what. So you just keep playing and you get stronger. So I'm like, yes, I've been grinding it pretty hard. And I'll probably stream it tomorrow. I don't know what I'm playing tomorrow yet. So and if I'm in a good spot and I can finish it, then I'll be happy. And I can chuck it on the board as game completed. But yeah, there's been some interesting shenanigans. I had this is the thing, right? It's because I did like a review after playing it for 10 hours. I reviewed the game because I thought I had a great grasp on how it's meant to go, right?
Yeah.
Today I was doing so. If people that don't know, it's exactly like Payday. So if you're familiar with the Payday mechanics, it's whatever. So I'm like, I can sort of stealth this because I unlocked a silencer. And silencer is like not apparently it means that the gun makes zero noise and no one notices that you're shooting people anymore. So I can just go in stealth by just popping everyone in the head as I walk in.
Yeah, that's not technically stealth.
And then they're like, no, you can't keep shooting people because they'll notice when people are dead. And I'm like, oh, okay, fair enough. So then I put them on, like I told them to get on the ground, which you can, and then zip tie them. And then that's it. Because like it doesn't really make any difference. They still send a SWAT team in and throw grenades around all the hostages. They don't give a shit. Anyway, so I tied these people up and then I walked into the next room and then it just came up on the screen, you got a runner. And he ran away. I'm like, what? I've done this like 50 times and they've never gotten up before. Went away and called the police immediately. I'm like, you motherfucker. I'm like, this is actually cool. Why didn't they put this in like the other 50 times that I'd done this? Just little shit like that. And then I had another one where I went to do a mission and then two of the guys on the way to the mission got into an accident. So then you had to stop doing your mission and you had to go find them and like bring them another car and have this whole fight sequence there. I'm like, what the fuck? This is cool. Why doesn't this shit happen more often? So I kind of want to go back and like add a bit to the review and say, yeah, so I played it for another 20 hours. And if you play it enough, then some actual diverse actions happen and it could be more interesting. But also, I feel like I've still seen other people play it and they've like had different stuff happening as well. So I'm like, well, fuck, maybe I need to keep playing it to find more.
Well, maybe you just need to start again.
The problem is, and I said this in the review, every time you die, you start again, and then you have to do the boringest part, which is like the first 5 days when you're like starting to build your crew and stuff. You have to do that over and over and over again every single time. Where the cool shit doesn't happen until like 20 days, but you're lucky to get that far because you fucking die and have to start again because there's no checkpoints. And when I say die, I do dumb shit. Like I literally ended my campaign by walking on my own grenade. So I'm like, I threw the grenade and I just didn't even do it. If you've ever seen Red versus Blue when Caboose throws that grenade like 1 foot in front of him, I did that. And then it died and then it said, game over. I'm like, no one even killed me. I just killed myself. It's so fucking shit. But yeah, I think I played it today for like, I don't know, fucking 8 hours or something like that while I was watching catching up on some Star Wars stuff because obviously there's been a lot of Star Wars news lately, so I'm trying to keep up with what's going on
Lots
with
of
that.
Star Wars news.
Which is all very exciting. I'm not qualified to deep dive into Star Wars lore, but I'm excited for what they're doing. I put a thing in the Discord, just like it's like a breakdown thing, but they actually explain all the important stuff because what it is if you imagine what they did with like Marvel and like Avengers, right? This is the Star Wars Avengers is coming up.
They're really pushing
All the
Star
animated
Wars
stuff,
now.
anything that Dave Filoni or any of those guys who worked on Clone Wars or Rebels or Bad Batch or Book of Boba Fett or Mandalorian, all those shows are all getting tied together in a movie by Dave Filoni.
Excellent.
That'd
Exciting.
be cool.
I'm very
Yeah.
excited.
The only thing is,
It's
if
also-
you want to know if you want to know what happened, like you want to watch all the movies that lead up to the Avengers, you got to watch about 10 seasons of animated Star Wars.
This is like this is very telling though about how much they're putting less resources into Marvel and moving back more into Star Wars because everyone is kind of sick of Marvel at this point.
Yeah, well, you just look at fucking Ant-Man's score,
Yeah.
review scores. People are just like, "Nah, I'm good." But no, it's
Somehow Shazam has better scores than Ant-Man, and I don't really understand that because Shazam is one big Skittles advertisement. So
yeah, people like Skittles maybe by 2% more. No, it's
I do like.
So one of the things that, like I said, I'm not super clued in. So if you want to know more, you can go look it up. But Star Wars are basically they've broken everything up into eras. So there's like the Republic, the post-Republic, Clone Wars, etc. And this whole Mandalorian, which this season of The Mandalorian is getting the worst ratings it's ever had, but it is probably the best show has ever been. Really, like they've really fleshed it out. It's bigger budget, bigger action, lots more characters. Stuff like that. It's maybe lost a bit of its charm of being a smaller one, smaller like Western sort of like the first season, but it's really going ham. And all this stuff that they're working on and this movie will be like the tie-in from what is episode 3 to episode 4. So this will go into like Rogue One, New Hope, and then that's it. They're done. Like that whole era is tied off with
They've
a
not
nice little
started a new
bow.
one.
They're done. They
Well,
they reckon that Ashoka's so good that they're gonna do a second season of that.
Oh, okay.
But that's it then. And then now they're bringing Rey back from the new trilogy to have her own movie, and then that'll be the next thing. Because what their problem is, and I saw a thing, an interview when they were talking about, a lot of these shows that we're watching now, like it appeals to an audience, like an existing Star Wars audience, but they're not growing. Like they're not getting new people. They need to make new Star Wars. They can't keep going deep lore, old Star Wars.
Gotta get the kids interested.
Gotta sell those toys and Lego,
Yeah.
video games.
I mean, they still keep putting out like Darth Vader toys, but like Darth Vader is 4 times as old as most of the kids that they're trying to make those toys for at this
Yeah,
point.
no, Star Wars make more money out of their merchandise than they do out of the actual shows.
Oh yeah.
It's all about merchandise. That's all they want to sell. But yeah, that's why they've got is it Skeleton Crew, I think, which is meant to be like Goonies in Star Wars universe. And like that's just they just want to sell like toys to kids. That's it.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't blame them because, like, I mean, you look at fucking Baby Yoda. When they came up with that was just like printing
Fucking
money.
genius. That
Definitely.
And remember
was
that so they had.
Baby Yoda socks, Baby Yoda.
Well, hang on. Remember they
waffle
had to keep
makers.
it so secret, right? They don't want no leaks, which means there was no toys for the first year.
Yeah.
So Baby Yoda came out. It was like, I want to buy a Baby Yoda plushie right now. And they're like, well, we got to wait until fucking we can order them from China,
And then they
they
were
come
also
over.
really hard to get them after that. It was
Because they
very
had to keep it secret. Because what always happens is people go, toys are out. Now we know what fucking Darth Vader looks like. This,
Or they
yeah.
registered a trademark. Now we know what's happening.
Exactly. But then what happened was that all the fucking pirates got out there and made pirated merchandise almost immediately. Like, hey, buy this Grogu
I mean,
t-shirt.
I 3D printed you a Grogu figurine. It's not painted, but
Did, yeah. It made me,
did.
you 3D printed me
and
piracy.
I think I bought you 2 ones after when the official merch started to come out.
I
Like
do.
little figurines.
I also have a pirated t-shirt.
Yeah, you pirate.
Like, I think it was like on Redbubble or something like that. It was like buy one get one free. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna buy this shirt. What do you got? Grogu? All right, I'll take him. But yeah, no, it's good. So that's pretty much been my Easter. There's lots of games and Star Wars stuff, really. which is good. It's a perfectly fine Easter. I'm not gonna lie.
Love relaxing.
Yeah. But apart from that, what else has been going on? We should probably.
We went to comedy shows.
We did go to comedy shows. We went and saw Friendly Geordies, which
that?
we're not allowed to talk about Friendly Geordies.
Oh, really?
There was a disclaimer. We're not allowed to snitch.
No snitches on Friendly Geordies. That's the part of the deal.
But it was good.
He's
We
got
can tell
that
you
shit
it was
on lock
good.
now.
Imagine if you got Friendly Geordies drunk and they had no limits at all, no YouTube limits, no TOS, nothing, and they could just tell you everything else, knowing that you can't snitch because you can't record the show and they can't get in trouble because it's protected by
He
copyright.
also had bad security with him. He couldn't talk to people after the show because of security.
Yeah, so it was uncensored Friendly Geordies, and it was insane. It just
I was crying for ages. I just laughing out loud, and then got the shock on some of the slides because he had a whole PowerPoint.
there's a lot of
presentation.
penis.
There was,
Oh, really?
yeah, there was definitely some dicks. in
It's
the
definitely
slideshow.
he threw up some some great photoshops, and he threw up some great photos of people. We will just say people, and he definitely, some of them were very grotesque, and he would just leave them up there and have a giggle because he knows it's making everyone uncomfortable.
He would be doubled over giggling at his own fucking jokes while we're all looking at a penis. So
Yeah. So
Can you imagine when he came up with that, what he was thinking? He's like, yeah, this is going to be good.
well,
yeah.
the thing is that he's I mean, it probably sounds cliche, but his life's a bit of a joke at the moment, you know. So he really just had to go through and just talk about his last couple of years and all the shit that's gone through.
Yeah.
And then he's just like, it's just the shock value in some of the shit that he says is like, oh, just fucking unbelievable. But yeah, it was very, very funny. It's not the sort of thing that you can sort of, just tell people about. Like, people need to know. It's like, it's all about him and his stuff and everything else. So
Yeah.
if you don't know anything about Friendly Geordies, you'll probably be like, what the fuck? This guy's a psychopath.
Yeah, there's definitely some people who like were there with their parents and stuff. I talked to a guy in the line briefly. He was there with his kid, which was, I bet he had an interesting time.
Yeah, it was it was interesting. It doesn't to balance it out, because I kind of knew that that's sort of what you're going to get from a Friendly Geordies thing, because you just have to watch it. So to balance it out, I said to Shelby that if Shelby buys tickets to that, I'll buy tickets to a normal comedy show for the Melbourne International Comedy Festival, which was cool. We went and saw Jenny Tian, who sort of blew up on lockdown TikTok, in particular.
Yeah. Her show was really good. Very, very small, like intimate crowd. Very different vibe to the.
Well,
Geordie
apparently
stuff.
it's been going so well that they've upgraded it to a 100-seat room now.
Ooh,
Because
good for
it
Jenny.
was selling out. But yeah, so it was good. We went to Trade Hall in Carlton, which is just north of Melbourne, and it's all dressed up, and it's all like a like fairy lights and little bar set up, and this little back
There was,
alley.
like, M&M sponsorship
And
thing where you can get a
sponsored
couple
by
M&Ms. I don't
M&Ms.
know, there's something
Well,
going on.
like comedians will be like hanging out at the bar after their shows and stuff like that, and they got multiple rooms and multiple shows happening at once. A real atmosphere thing. It's really what the comedy festival's like. It's like you can go to an area and see into one building and see 4 shows in one day if you wanted to.
Yeah, it was cool. It's like, go left if you want this person, go right if you want this person, go down the hall and turn left if you want Jenny. Like, there was shows on shows on shows.
And then from for Jenny's show, it was, I mean, all comedians, they just make jokes about their life, but it was a lot of her talking about her experiences, turning it into a joke, and then sort of observational humor in general, and lots of poorly drawn PowerPoint presentations, and again, some penis. I don't know. There's just a lot.
I think her opening slides had like a stick figure dick.
Yeah.
So there was some clear
And
theming
boobs.
going on.
Yeah.
There was some titties,
But yeah, no, she was really good. Highly recommend. And I got a few friends who were like, "Oh, what shows are you gonna go see?" And I'm like, "Oh, it was the first night of the festival. Like, these are the 2 that I went and saw. If we get a chance, we might go and see it, because it does go for like 3 weeks, and see some other ones."
Yeah. If I'm alive.
But like, to give you an idea, I think there's like 200 or 300 comedians that participate in international.
It's a lot. It's
So,
a big thing.
It's a lot. And like, some of them are groups, some of them are international, some are like improv,
Some of them are musicals.
some are movie premieres.
Yeah.
There's just so much going on, and you just literally go to their website and you're like, I want to see a person who does observational comedy, doesn't interact with the audience, and fucking whatever, and like you tick these boxes and filter it out. And it's like, all right, here's 50 comedians that fit your thing. And I'm like, yeah. The friend of mine I was talking to, like, oh, which one do you want to go to? I'm like, well, if I'm going to go to one, I'm probably going to go to ones I haven't seen before because I've seen a fair few comedians. And then I'm like, I recommended Jenny, and she's like, oh wow, want to support like Asian comedians and stuff like that. I feel like they're really underrepresented. I'm like, yeah, yep, cool. And because she's Asian, my friend, she's like, yeah, I want to support them, stuff like that. And I'm like, well, I don't really want to support straight white men with beards because there's too many of them.
Yeah.
It's not really a race card for me to play here. I was more around the fact that she like makes content and stuff like that. And there's a few streamers as well that are at the comedy festival. I know like Jordan Rusko's got one show here at the moment. I think Tom Walker might have one as well. So there's a couple comedian / streamers that are like.
There's also
interesting.
like a musical show. I think that's like about the internet. So the stuff that's kind of nerdy. You can find.
It's
most
very
people
cool.
on-
It's it's very cool. Goes for a whole month. Melbourne International Comedy Festival. It's worth, if you're in town, like going and seeing that rather than going a fancy bar. Like tickets will be $20. Like it's not. You're not like, it's not Taylor Swift asking you for $300 to sit up with the pigeons.
I mean, you mean $800 to sit with the pigeons?
God damn.
Yeah, and then they get scalped and were immediately resold for like $1,200 to sit with the pigeons, and people bought them. So
It's unbelievable. I still
also,
can't
some
get
people
over
have
that.
been posting pictures from her show because it's obviously just kicked off in the US.
Yeah.
And they're actually sitting with a view of the back of the stage, so they
Yep.
can't even see her. And they paid like $800 for these seats. These poor
Oh my
bastards.
god.
Yeah, I saw someone breaking down like how they were claiming that it's like a 360-degree stage that you'll never see the back of it, and then it's like this massive long ass stage. When they walk out, then half the audience sees the back of it.
Yeah,
It makes
there's
no
definitely
sense
that.
at all. I don't know. It's you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't with that. The only person that I know who has solved that algorithm of I'm too popular to like have a show that pleases everyone is Pink, who's like, okay, I'm too popular. I'm going to do 18 shows in a row, and half of it I'm going to be in a fucking trapeze flying over the audience. It's the only way I can please everyone.
That explains why she does it. Yeah.
Yeah, she's the only one that's done it. She's cracked the code. Everyone else is whatever. I mean,
Rihanna almost had it with the Super Bowl show, I guess, on the floating platforms.
well, like I said, when I went and saw Rihanna in concert, she came out in a pink tank in the middle of fucking Rod Laver Arena, and then
You can't miss that.
it's like, yeah, it was pretty good.
Yeah.
And then you get when we saw Linkin Park, they just had a massive stage. Like they were so high up, like no matter where you were, you could see them. And then they jumped from the top level to the bottom level, and one of them broke their legs.
Oh,
So
God.
it comes
Came
with
back
its
on
own
stage.
challenges.
Yeah.
They finished the song as well, so it's just with a
Yeah.
broken leg. That's fucking nuts. So a movie came out this week, and in typical fashion, we went and saw it. We didn't go. Well, technically, no. Wait.
Describe what happened. 'cause I
I was going to say we didn't go to the preview screening, but technically we did, but also we didn't.
Tell everyone. Tell everyone what happened. I want this on the record.
Look, it's not the first time I've done this, okay? It's many times I've done this, actually. But basically, Super Mario Brothers movie came out this week. And I brought tickets beforehand because I got told that there's no preview screening for peasants. And that's fine. I get it. I'm a peasant. Thought there's a cinema across the road from us here. So I was like, fine, book it straight after work, across the road, no worries at all. Got to the day, and I'm like, I better make sure I got my tickets ready, check my tickets. No, booked it for the cinema in the city, not the one across the road. And I only saw it with like 15 minutes to get there. I'm like, oh man, we're going to be
Yeah, hold
fucking...
up. You say you checked it on the day. You checked it 15 minutes beforehand.
No,
So I just-
no. I was checking on the day. I couldn't log into the fucking app. So I was
Yeah.
swearing about that. And then when I finally got my... I'm like, fuck, I'll just look on the email. Surely they sent me the... And then when I saw it, I'm like, oh shit, we fucked up.
So we ran severely underdressed, honestly, for going into the city to get down into an Uber. Thank God the first Uber driver picked us up because often they cancel on us.
Got to Melbourne
Thank goodness.
Central. And guess what? The
2
preview
minutes to
screening's happening at Melbourne Central.
Yes. So I had all the merch set up, all the fucking signs to take pictures with, a big Mario tunnel to walk into, the lush Mario thing was
Cosplayers and
downstairs, cosplayers everywhere, Mario Kart. But we went the opposite direction to the Gold Class cinemas.
yeah, we went to Gold Class and we watched the Mario movie. And then as soon as we came out, we went and raided all the shit that was left over from the
Yeah, they
previous.
had tons of promotional badges, so we're just like stuffing fistfuls of them into our pockets.
Hell
to run
yeah.
home with.
Fuck, you know, it's yeah. So we did go to it, but we didn't go to it. We weren't invited. We kind of gate crashed it. Well, no, we just
Yeah,
came
we
in
crashed.
afterwards. Had to walk through it to get out anyway. But that's fine. It was cool. So I want to talk about Mario for a couple of things, and we won't spoil it. Not that there's much to spoil. It's a Mario movie. What do you expect? It got some pretty shit reviews, to be honest. At around 50%. Generally speaking, some people gave it some fucking scathing reviews, and some people gave it some more positive sort of ones. But they all kind of say the same thing, which is
I haven't written my review on it yet, but I feel like it was a movie. It was.
Do you want
predictable, it
to
was-
go first? Do you want to tell us
Sure.
how did you feel about the Super Mario Brothers movie?
I was neither overwhelmed nor underwhelmed. I was just whelmed. It was neutral. I just kind of was like, yep.
So
that's the movie.
50%.
I've seen it.
50% pretty
Yeah,
much.
I was like, yeah, that's the movie. I've seen it. It was exactly what I thought it would be. Chris Pratt did not ruin it, surprisingly. Jack Black did improve it by at least 5 points. And it was just like predictable plot. It was like whatever, but it is made for kids. We got to put that into our minds. It was made for kids. Visually, great. I like the art style was good. It all looked great. But it was a movie. I'm not gonna probably go out of my way to watch it again.
Now, Shelby is someone that I'd like to think knows a little bit about me. What do you think I thought about the Mario movie?
I think you found the art good, like really good, and I think you liked all the references to other little bits and pieces. But I think you were also just like, yeah, okay, it was a movie. But I also think that there were, since there was less action than you would hope, that you were disappointed.
Okay, interesting. It's interesting.
What do you think?
So this is going to take a little bit of explaining, but let me go through here. As a movie, it's awful. It's
I was polite.
as a start, middle, and an end, conflict resolution, character development, all that. There's none of that in this movie at all. As entertainment, though, it's up there. It's like a 90%. It's fun to watch. This is the sort of show that you could give your fucking 5-year-old nephew to watch, and he'll think it's amazing. He'll go, "Where did this thing come from? This come from space. This amazing piece of artistry." But yes, let's talk to it from a movie's perspective. The animation's fantastic. It's Illumination. They figured it all out a long time ago when they made Squillions from Minions, and it's all great. It's fine. Mario and Luigi, as much as I love like Chris Pratt and Charlie Day, they were the weakest part of this movie.
You know what the weakest part about them to me is that Charlie Day playing Luigi is not in the film very much at all.
Then both of them are not in the film that much. Mario's not in there that much. When you think about it, he's always standing to the side of what's going on, and everything happens around Mario, and he just sits there and he does fucking nothing, which is fine because I don't really like him anyway.
Well, I love Charlie Day. I needed him to be more.
Yeah, he's great anyway, but you just watch Always Sunny. That's his peak fucking life anyway. Just watch Always Sunny. Everyone should be watching Always Sunny. Anyway, actually, no, kids should not be watching Always Sunny. Fucking Jack Black proves that no matter what you get him to do, if he likes it, he's just going to put everything into it. The guy fucking is like, someone forgot to tell him that it's not his movie. It's not called Bowser the Movie because he fucking just tries to steal it constantly. Constantly. Like it's clear that they like, hey, we'll get you. Can you sing like 3 lines and like we're gonna do like a make it sound like Bowser's about to do a song? Nah, fuck him. He's gonna make a whole fucking song that makes no sense and recorded a film clip to it and released it on YouTube. So there's a full.
He 100% improv'd that, by the way. That whole song improv'd. I've seen him do his improv music before and just pull songs and dumb words out of his fucking ass, and that's exactly what that was. He improv'd it, then they animated it.
And a total side note to all this, he's doing all this Bowser shit. He's also in Star Wars this week. He's in Mandalorian.
Yeah.
So it's like, he's Bowser. We just see this guy dressed up as Bowser in almost every single media appearance that he's done for the show.
In the
Either
red
full
carpet.
costume or in like Bowser themed fucking suits. Just singing his heart out, coming up with just absolutely
TikToks about
unhinged takes
Mario.
on Mario. Fantastic. And so what I'll say is Bowser and Peach steal the show. Toad is annoying, but Toad's always annoying. So you played the
There's no
character right.
Yoshi.
There's no fucking
No
Yoshi.
Yoshi.
No
Oh.
Yoshi.
Yoshi
That's
is a fucking.
annoying.
They get like a background character. You see Yoshi in the distance at one point.
No. They briefly mention like the Yoshi's Island, and they have a bunch of Yoshis in the background, but not Yoshi himself. But that's it.
But
They
then
just
there's also an
mention the
egg. There's an
island.
egg at they're given to him at the event that we won't say what the event is.
Still, Yoshi's like one of my favorite characters in the Mario.
Yeah. So there's no substance at all to this movie. There's nothing. There's no
it's for
plot.
kids.
There's no explanation as to what the fuck Mario is doing. It looks like he lives at home in Brooklyn and he wants to save Brooklyn, but ends up at the Mushroom Kingdom, hates mushrooms, eats mushrooms, fights Bowser. That's pretty much the movie. Which like it doesn't sound like it's got much, but there's also like some Mario games and have very weak stories and are much better.
Yeah, well, yeah,
But-
honestly as well. It like we just talked about Star Wars. Like the movie is there to sell merch.
Well, it's not. It's not. I mean, Mario sells merch anyway. It doesn't matter. Like they don't need
Nah,
they don't need a movie to help. But what
There was like a half an hour long Mario Kart advertisement in that movie.
if they were about on selling? We would get a Mario game at the same time.
This is true.
We're not. We haven't got it. But it's like the thing is, right? You got to break your audience into a few numbers here, okay? And it's like a Venn diagram essentially. If you don't know what video games are and you don't know what Mario is and you see this movie, you're going to have a bad time. Simple, right? If you know what video games are and like, you know, you like Minions and stuff like that, you're going to have a pretty good time. If you know video games, know Mario and like animated stuff, you're going to have a fucking great time because at some point they're like, hey, let's have the scene where Mario talks about, you know, his motives for trying to save the kingdom and stuff like that. Or we can jam in 300 more Nintendo references. Oh, let's go the references, man. Fuck the story. That's
I
it.
could imagine.
It's just the reference by minute ratio in this movie is next level. And when I say references, like on the screen, there'll be 4 references happening. If you're listening to the music cues will be another 2 references. And then the dialogue will have another 6 references in it as they're going. And it's just like that for the entire movie. It's just absolutely spoon feeding you Nintendo, Mario references like crazy.
Which is what I expected.
Which
It
is what
just
which
Mario
is
Brothers
why
movie.
gamers will love it. Like anyone who's ever touched a Mario game will go, I fucking get that. They're speaking to me. And it'll do really well. But if you don't, like if you imagine you've never played Mario before, you don't even know what it is, and you got told to go review this movie, you'd be like, I don't understand anything of what's going on. Because they do not stop to explain who Mario is or Luigi or anything. They just go, they're plumbers, and some reason they live here, and something happened, and that's it. Like, there's
But
nothing
yeah, so
to it.
basically, this line kind of sums it up. People are saying that it has a exceedingly straightforward narrative, characters lacking complexity, and Pratt's performance as Mario was blandly heroic. I think that sums it up.
Pratt's did nothing, right? He had to play it
Yeah.
so fucking safe because he knew the internet was watching him. He was just boring. Simple. I'm going to say it. It's fine.
Yeah, blandly heroic.
It was boring. And then you get someone like fucking Seth Rogen who's like, I don't do voices. I just do myself and I'm Donkey Kong. I'm starting to convince that he is actually Donkey Kong because, my God, when Donkey Kong goes, does the Seth Rogen laugh, I'm like, holy shit, he is Donkey Kong.
Rogen laugh. It was wild.
Oh, man, I could watch 2 hours of Seth Rogen as Donkey Kong. It's like a real stoner flick, you know? Like he misplaced his bananas and now he's on an adventure to find where the fuck he put them and then they're at home the whole time or something. Like, that'd be fucking mint. I'd be all
So-
about it.
There were reports in 2021 that there was going to be a Donkey Kong spin-off film with Rogen set to reprise his role. He openly expressed interest in Donkey Kong Country, forming the basis for future works, and that was said in this month. And Charlie Day expressed interest in reprising his role as Luigi in a Luigi's Mansion film. And he's been pushing that. He's been reiterating it. So
They should do that. They should stop trying to remake, what is it, The Haunted Mansion or whatever it is, Disney keeps trying to remake, and do a Luigi Mansion flick instead.
Yeah.
That'll go well.
Yeah.
Honestly, do a Peach spin-off as well. Do it.
Yeah, I'd watch that.
Yeah, fucking
Bring in
absolutely.
Daisy and bring in like Roselia. Or
They had
what's
fucking, what are they called? The Shines or whatever they are from Mario Galaxy. The little
the emo star.
that emo. Yeah, it's just fucking deep emo. He's like, death is the only way out of this depression. In the movie, he's saying that to kids, and we're
He's
like,
saying
whoa.
it so cutely as
Yeah,
well.
yeah,
and
he's saying it with
being,
these
like,
little-
lowered into lava, and he's just like, "Yay, mercy!"
So
It's
yeah. So
wild.
overall, the movie is it's fine. Like it's as a movie, like parents, it's not made for you. All right, gamers, absolutely. Kids, perfect. It's perfect. Fucking yeah. If anything, all right. If they really wanted to make a lot of money, all right, these guys would just make a Roblox movie and be done with it. But it's made for that generation. Like it's those under 10s, bright, flashy colors, easy to understand, kind of craziness. So it should be interesting. And I did notice that in the process of all this, they pushing forward with the Minecraft movie now. So it's been
Well,
announced 4 years ago or something now, and they're like,
Yeah.
finally, we're in pre-production. Like,
they
fucking
could
hell.
do a Roblox movie, but they'll just rebuild the Super Mario Bros. Movie in Roblox and be done with it.
Yeah, well, they're making a Friday Night at Freddy's, which is what everyone plays Roblox for anyway, apparently.
Yeah.
So it's the fucking who knows. But yeah, the point I wanted to bring up, go see Mario. It's great. If you're a fan of, video game movies or whatever, great. It's sitting at a 50 on Rotten Tomatoes, but a fan score of 80, and that sort of speaks volumes. So the people that are watching the movie are enjoying it. The people who's been sent to review the movie are going, what the fuck is this? But I just want to remind everyone that there's no Mario game with a solid Mario story. Full stop.
No, it's all
Mario
scripted to a formula.
64 is Mario goes to the castle for some cake, and Princess gets taken by Bowser, and he goes and gets it back. That's the whole story.
Yeah, nobody.
My
expected
favorite
that.
game, and I say that, like one of my most favorite Mario games, Yoshi's Story on the Nintendo 64. They need to go get their happiness back because they lost their happiness. That's the whole story. So,
I think one problem is though that we were at the cinemas at the gold class and they didn't have any chips. But I also want to
Oh my
talk about
God.
fries. That was a good segue.
but
Good
no,
segue.
no segue because I'm not finished. Because I want to talk
Oh,
about
okay.
before you get to your fucking fries. All right.
Sorry, I'm imbued by rage, and everyone will figure out why.
We went to gold class. I don't want to paint a picture forever. Went to gold class. All right. Gold class is when you can order some food and get some drinks and stuff while you're watching the movie. All right. For those who haven't been to gold class, I don't know what it is. And you basically, they'll give you a menu. You press a little button. They'll come in, ask what you want. You can get a pizza, some fries, or whatever, and they'll come and deliver it. We're like, oh, we'll just have some fries. And now we're out of fries. And I'm like, oh, well, don't worry about it then. We'll just get food afterwards. Because this is a short movie. It's a kid's movie. Shelby spent the entire movie just flicking through that menu going, where the fuck's my fries?
Angry for fries.
The whole movie. There's like 10 minutes left of the movie. And she's still flicking through the menu. I'm like, leave it alone.
That
Did
was
they bring you
actually-
fries?
No, they were
had
out.
no fries. They offered me sweet potato fries in exchange, and sweet potato fries are a crime against humanity. So
Exactly.
you know.
Before we want to move on, I just wanted to bring up, because while I was looking up some scores and stuff like that, it came across this great article, which is talking about video games turn movies, which is everyone knows, anyone who's a fan of the podcast will know that I love talking about this shit. Give you a great example. On my birthday, I went and saw the first Mortal Kombat movie when it came out. Got critically panned. Fucking loved it. Must have watched that movie 500 times. And then a couple of years later, they brought out the sequel to that movie, Mortal Kombat Annihilation. If you don't know anything about this, they in the first movie, they talk a lot of bit, follows pretty much Johnny Cage and Liu Kang as they go to the Mortal Kombat tournament. At the start of the second movie, they kill Johnny Cage in 30 seconds into the movie.
This is the one that I watched the trailer for, and it was fucked.
I still love this movie. I still watch it and love it. I think it's fine. It's so campy, so cringy.
Same,
I love it.
too.
4%. It's 4% on Rotten
Come on,
Tomatoes.
man.
That 4% is just you holding up that
It's
score.
just
Man,
me.
Alati.
Yeah.
I'm going to become a critically acclaimed journalist just to get that number up.
I'll let you write an article on my website.
So
you can-
going quickly, they've got a list of ones that have scored really well. And the number one is Werewolves Within, which is a 2021 movie. Never even fucking heard of it.
Never heard of it.
Never heard of it. Sitting at an 86%. And I assume that's after like the board game Werewolves. I assume that's what it's based on, right?
Probably.
Number two is Angry Birds the Movie 2.
Fuck that.
2019, sitting at a 73%. That's nearly 30 points higher than Ant-Man.
Ah,
Jesus.
jeez.
That's 23 points higher than Shazam in the Skittles ad. Coming in after that, it's 69%. Nice. Sonic the Hedgehog 2, which I feel like, right, and this is just my personal opinion, but Sonic the Hedgehog 2, when they had that pivotal moment in the board meeting when they said, hey, should we do some meaningful story or should we just jam another 100 references in there? Sonic went for meaningful story where Mario went for references. That's the difference between the two movies, and that's why Sonic will critically claim better.
Knuckles.
And Knuckles is in it, yeah.
Knuckles made it so much better. His fucking humor the entire time was perfect.
Coming in after that is Detective Pikachu at 68%, which I can understand it. It would probably be 80 if they didn't have that really weird fucking ending. And if you've seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about. Fucking weird. 64% is Sonic the Hedgehog, the first movie, and then sitting at 56%, it's come up a little bit, is Super Mario Brothers, the movie. After that is the reboot of Mortal Kombat, which we saw, and it's better. Mainly because they put an Australian in there and dropped the C-bomb a few times. Really fucking bumped that numbers up, in my opinion. The movie that tried but didn't is Tomb Raider, the remake, which they cut an hour of good content out of the game version into the movie. Promised a sequel with a post-credit scene and then disappeared, and then tried to turn it into an anime, and it still hasn't happened. 53%. The movie no one saw and no one remembers at 51% is Rampage, based on one of my favorite games as a kid, where you play a monkey and destroy buildings and eat toilets, starring Dwayne the Rock Johnson.
This is
and then when I mentioned this to Shelby, Shelby looked at me like, what the fuck are you talking about? In all aspects. The game, the fucking movie, nothing. Just didn't happen, apparently. The original Mortal Kombat, 45%, my favorite 1995 classic. So 45%, and then the sequel got 2%, and you wonder where it went wrong. Final Fantasy, The Spirits Within. I remember the hype train around that CGI. They're like, holy shit. Her hair.
Is this the one you made me watch?
No, we watched Advent Children, which is a much better film. But Spirits Within, I remember there was like this article, and they're like, oh my God, her hair, 4 gigabytes. It's crazy.
This is like when everyone always talks about Disney's hair. It's like, look at Rapunzel. Look how long her hair is. It's
Oh,
so good
my
as
Shelby's
CG.
favorite CGI fantastic video game to movie. Somehow this is up here. Monster
What?
Hunter.
No way! You fucking kidding me? That was hot garbage.
44% and has about 2 minutes of Monster Hunter in it. And then
We wasted one of our New Year's Eves on that bullshit. We walked out of the cinema, right?
Yeah.
And I was just like awkward because I was like, what if he liked it? And I just turned to you, I was like, what did you think? And you're like, oh, it was shit. I'm like, oh, thank God, it was fucking shit.
thank God I like Mila Jovovich, but my God, it's basically,
Oh.
I could explain the movie entirely, right? It is Pitch Black, which is a fantastic Vin Diesel movie everyone should have seen.
That's good, baby.
Swap out Vin Diesel, put Mila Jovovich in it, call it Monster Hunter, and then have a ship come in with a cat cooking food at the end for 2 minutes, and then send it. That's the
And
movie.
She also has a companion that's just a really talented Asian man who she can't talk to.
Who's just there to sell tickets in China? Let's be honest. It's just a fucking garbage movie. Anyway, Paul Wes Anderson just making work for his wife. That's all it is. If you don't believe anything I'm saying, look it up. All right, it's exactly what that is.
Or don't feel better about life.
No, look it up because the man's a genius. All right, all he does is create jobs for his wife, and then him and his wife travel the world with their family, who are homeschooled on why they travel, making movies for mediocre money, and just living the dream. That's why they made like 7 Resident Evil movies.
Can they at least warn me next time?
No, they need your money for their next trip. All right, speed running through the rest of it. Angry Birds movie at 43%.
Gross.
Uncharted 41%. Prince of
like-
Persia 37%.
Terrible.
All right, you ready for this? It's got to be a combo. Resident Evil, the final chapter, is at 37.
Disgusting.
Resident Evil, the first one, 35.
Oh,
Dead or Alive, which was a wild movie if you've
didn't
seen
watch
it.
that.
It's at 33%. We should watch it. It's hilarious. Silent
kind of
Hill,
subjective
31.
Bad movies.
The Netflix Resident Evil Welcome to Raccoon City, 30%. Warcraft at 29%. The original Super Mario Brothers movie from 1993 at 29%. Resident Evil Retribution, 28%. Lara Croft, Tomb Raider, and the Cradle of Life.
Is that the Angelina Jolie one?
That's the one where they put her in a skin-tight suit because they thought they were going to sell more tickets. And they did,
Yeah.
24%. Because the original one's down lower, I think. Resident Evil Extinction, 24%. Need for Speed, Aaron Paul trying to get away from Breaking Bad, then realizing there's nothing better than Breaking Bad. 22%. Resident Evil Afterlife. 20. I told they made a fucking ton of these movies. The Ratchet and Clank movie from 2016 is at 21%.
Still haven't seen it.
Doesn't sound like you need to. And Pokemon 3, the movie, at 21%. All the Pokemon movies are very low rated, by the way. Lara Croft, the first one, which she wasn't as skin tight, 20%. Assassin's Creed, that was still in cinemas when they announced they're going to reboot it, at 19%.
Hold on, where's the Hitman movies on this list? Are they a bit down further?
They're very low, I think. I don't
Oh,
think
God.
another Resident Evil Apocalypse, that was the sequel, at 19%. The Pokemon movie 2000, 19%. Doom, Carl Urban tried at 18%. There's also a sequel to Doom movie, which was actually
There
kind
is.
of better, but kind of worse. Pokemon Heroes at 17%. I told you the Pokemon ones are low. Hitman 2007. This is the original one, the Timothy Olyphant, at 16%. Pokemon the first movie, also 16%. Pokemon Forever. That is the Pokemon movie 4, also Forever. 16%. Another one people forget even exists. Max Payne is stars Mark Wahlberg. 15%. This one got announced as a remake recently because someone brought the rights to it. Street Fighter, the
It's getting
1990.
remade, is it?
Yeah, someone brought the rights to it. They're moving studios. They hadn't made one because the original people just held the rights and did nothing with it. Anyway, 11%, starring your man Jean-Claude Van Damme, 1994 classic. Wing Commander, starring Freddie Prinze Jr., 10%. Postal, didn't even know this was a movie, 9%. Hitman Agent 47, the sequel to the other one, that was at what, 10%?
Yep.
This was at 8%. This is when they changed the Hitman is, I can't remember who the new actor is, but yeah, anyway. Silent Hill Revelation, 8%, no one cares. Blood Rain, which was an awful movie, I watched that, 4%. Mortal Kombat Annihilation, absolutely robbed here. Probably should have got an Oscar, 4%. In the Name of the King, which I believe is a D&D movie originally.
That sounds right. Yeah.
Yeah, it's The Name of the King, a Dungeon Siege Tale, 2007, starring Jason Statham, 4%. House of the Dead, 3%. Street Fighter, The Legend of Chun-Li was a 2009 movie. I watched it. It was
Yeah, I watched that too.
it was a movie. 3%.
Yeah.
And then Alone in the Dark, 2005, at a 1%,
Christian
starring Christian Slater, and it is an awful movie. I've watched it. It makes no sense at all.
Yikes.
There's cultural appropriation, all sorts of fantastic things. But it's what do they call him? Owie Bale. He was the Paul Wes Anderson before. W.S. Anderson, sorry, before, where he would make, so he made Alone in the Dark, he made House of the Dead, he made In the Name of the King, he made Blood Rain. All these are all the ones in the bottom 10 here. Postal was his. Yeah, so he was doing the same thing. He was like the guy, I'm pretty sure he made Far Cry as well into the movie. He was the guy who was like, we can make video games in the movies and we don't have to come up with original concepts. But then he was just really bad at it. So yeah, so there you go. And then Paul W.S. Anderson made 7 Resident Evils and fucking Monster Hunter.
Somebody should stop letting him play video games.
And every single one just has Mila Jovovich in it. That's it.
Take his Xbox off him. Not allowed it anymore.
I don't think he's playing the games. If you look at Monster Hunter, I don't think he's played Monster Hunter ever.
Somebody changed the Wi-Fi password. Don't let him have access to
But
it.
anyway, the point that I was trying to make, but also it's just fun reading all these fucking games and remembering them all, is that video games turned movies are always rated horribly. Always. I think The Last of Us is the only thing that's broken the mold.
And now that's gonna make people be like, we should do this more often.
Somehow it made the game worse with its PC release. It's kind of weird. But yeah, it's like some of these movies make a lot of money without being rated highly, and then there's other ones that are just really, really bad. But yeah, like the original Mortal Kombat did really well for a movie that rated very poorly. And Sonic 3 has been announced. I think Sonic 3 goes up against the next Avatar on the slate. I think it's Christmas next year.
Again, yeah. Well, not again. They didn't cross over last time. Did they? No, they did. I think they were Avatar 2 and Sonic 2 were around the same time.
No. They announced 3 and the next Avatar at the
That's
same
right.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
True.
And there was a different blue people. What was the other blue people?
Other blue people.
Yeah.
Shit. Smurfs? I don't know.
I don't know.
The Smurfs.
I'll look it up. Let's talk
The
about
blue
chips,
group?
though, and how Shelby's still thinking about... No, you shouldn't be thinking about the chips, because I brought you chips. All right?
Yeah, I ate chips. It was very good. Thank you for satisfying that craving.
Thank
But
you.
I want to talk about chips, and also because it's Easter, because the Sydney Royal Easter Show happened. Tame, have you gone? You're the closest to Sydney.
I'm never going that.
I was going to say,
fucking
you
thing.
wouldn't go by
Yeah,
choice.
it's
Ever
like
again.
going to Melbourne show.
I'm not gonna lie. Like when I was younger, I spent $1,500 at these.
What? Doing what?
Fucking
That's so many Birdie
bought heaps
Beavers.
of shit, played heaps of them fucking games.
Oh, man.
When I left there, man, I was disappointed.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah. But the reason we're talking about it is because it's hit the headlines, not because of any other content about the show, except for one particular food item that is dividing people. It is gummy bear loaded fries. It is just fries with gummy bears on them and sprinkles and sweet
Why?
sauces.
Ugh.
And there's photos of it circulating. It looks like a dog's breakfast if you hate your dog. And it's
If you hate your
it's-
dog.
it's disgusting. And people are eating it. Some people are like, yeah, I kind of understand the concept. Other people are just like, no, it's disgusting.
It's
It costs like
disgusting.
$15 to be that disappointed, and looks terrible. So if you ever want to like look it up, you should. But it kind of led me to thinking about it seems very American, because if you ever hear about American fair foods, they make some wild stuff at like the county fairs and stuff, right?
I just want
Some
to...
crazy creations.
Before you get crazy on that, right?
Yeah.
I saw Easter show stuff talking about foods and stuff like that, and it was basically showing how they make a lot of their popular foods. So things like your Dagwood dogs and stuff like that.
I love Dagwood dogs.
Seeing how the sausage is made is a good
Yes.
way to not want to eat the sausage anymore.
I'll still eat it.
It didn't look good. It was very questionable. Just like boxes, like cardboard boxes full of sausages on sticks ready to be dipped in batter.
I hate to break it to you, but like a lot of the foods you eat, you probably wouldn't want to eat if you knew how they were made.
That's why I don't eat hot dogs anymore. Don't look up how a
Right.
hot dog is made. Nope.
Yeah, don't look up if you ever like a food that is a very processed food. Never look up how it's made. It'll upset you. So I still like hot dogs. But I still want to talk about American fair food because it reminded me a lot of that, because America does some fucked up shit. I do have a list here of America's wacky fair foods, and some of them actually on this list I don't think are that bad, but I feel like we should talk about it.
Okay.
So the first one is the Indiana hot beef sundae. It is a ribeye. No, wait, no, it's not. It's the layered with mashed potatoes, marinated beef, gravy, cheese, corn sprinkles, and a cherry tomato. I don't think that's that
What?
bad.
No.
The fact that they call it a sundae is the problem. It's definitely not a sundae. It is just a layered like meat and potato and cheese dish. That's all it is.
Uh-huh.
You don't like that?
No, just keep going the list. The list is great. It's
Okay. Well, the next one is an award-winning fried beer from Texas. They make little like pasta pockets filled with beer, and then they deep fry it, and you just eat little parcels of beer.
I don't know how that works, but
Yeah,
Hot
same.
beer popping into your mouth. From
I'm still trying to
inside
work
little-
out how it works.
Yeah, there's a picture. It looks like ravioli, or like it really looks like.
it looks like
pasta.
ravioli is exactly what it looks like. Yeah.
Yeah.
Instead of something yummy in there, it's going to be
Hot beer.
boiled beer.
Boiled beer.
Ugh.
Next up is fried butter balls from Montana, which is just deep fried balls of butter with batter around them. But
America.
deep fried butter is definitely a thing I've seen around quite a bit. So that's not really a surprise. The next up though is pickle pops from Kansas, which is like a Zupa Duper, but it's just pickle juice.
Oh. That's
I don't know.
foul.
I don't actually really know anybody who loves pickles, but I know Americans tend to love pickles.
I like
Koshi
pickles,
loves
man.
pickles.
I like pickles,
loves
but I don't
pickles.
know if I'm gonna do these pickle pops.
Yeah, there's some more questionable pickle stuff to come on this list as well.
Mhm. Mhm.
We'll see if that's the worst. I think this one is not bad, except for some people would be turned off by the type of meat it is. It's just python kebabs, so it's just it's snake.
Oh.
I feel like it's not that offensive to people from Florida, but it is in California.
Nothing's
so that's
offensive to
probably the
people
problem.
from Florida.
People eat snakes and alligators and all sorts of stuff. It's just different, I guess.
Yeah.
That's though, like people will react badly when they learn that some Australians eat kangaroos. So I don't know.
Do
But
Australians eat kangaroos as much as like internationals eat kangaroos? I feel like people are like, I go to Australia, so I have to eat kangaroo.
yeah, I feel like it's definitely a tourist thing.
It's kind of like when
It
tourists come
is.
here and they're like, I have to drink Fosters. No one drinks fucking Fosters. It's awful.
I don't know. Is that
Awful.
still around, man?
Yeah, it's still around. It's
Far
awful.
out.
It's for the tourists.
Next up though, we have from Massachusetts, we have fried jelly beans. There's just jelly beans that have been battered and then deep fried and then covered in powdered sugar. I feel like they would still be like too sticky and firm and hot in the middle. I
Yeah.
don't know. That doesn't sound great. It sounds like
Ugh.
you'll have to go see a dentist after you have it. But so does many of the items on the list. But in Wisconsin, we have the Elvis on a stick, which is a deep fried banana battered peanut butter cup with bacon
That's
on a
his.
stick.
That's because of his banana, peanut butter, and jelly sandwiches or whatever the fuck he
Yeah.
likes with bacon.
Bacon.
There's
Yeah, it's
bacon,
just-
banana, and peanut butter sandwiches. Is what
Yeah.
Elvis liked.
It's on a
apparently.
donut, isn't it? It's on a donut.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, you got to keep in mind that when they say like a sandwich, particularly in America, like their bread is like candy.
Yeah,
pretty
all
much.
their bread has a high sugar content.
Yeah.
So
So it's
so
basically on a donut.
pretty much, it's like having a McDonald's bun. Like the
Oh my
brioche
god!
bun.
Speaking of, keep going. This list gets awful.
All right. So next up is Florida with a cheeseburger with fried ice cream. It's just a normal-ish looking cheeseburger with deep fried ice cream in it, but it's not quite battered, so it's just like ice cream with
Yeah,
some
it's
deep
literally
fried
like
bits on
it
it.
looks like someone's made like a burger you'd get from like your fish and chip shop, and then they've just stuck ice cream in the middle.
Yeah,
Which
and they
No.
call it a milkshake burger as well, which is offensive
Oh.
to milkshakes and burgers.
no. Next,
The next one is Eladi's. I think you like this one.
chocolate
It is
covered bacon on a stick. That sounds fucking delicious.
I think
also
I'm gonna
known
try
as-
that.
Yeah, right. I think that's
gonna
might be the
make
next
some.
next cooking stream. Maybe we'll fucking
Yeah.
make some.
I feel like we should hold on to that. You should definitely make it.
Because
I feel
the salty bacon and the chocolate, it all go together. It's the same
it
thing.
will.
It's the same thing as when you go to like a pancake parlor and they're like, "Hey, do you want your bacon and eggs on pancakes?" Like, what? Fuck off! That sounds horrible. It's not. It's great. It tastes excellent, actually.
yeah.
It's just got to get your mind out of
They
the.
do also call it a muddy pig, though. I don't like that nickname for it.
I could have called it shit on a stick, honestly, by the pitch.
Does not look attractive. The next one I don't think deserves to be on this list. I have had like deer salami before. This is reindeer sausage that people are offended by.
That's the
apparently.
Rudolph sausage.
Oh, Rudolph. Damn.
Well, like reindeer are a farmed animal in a lot of areas. I don't see the problem with this.
North
I've had,
Pole.
I've had reindeer salami. It's it's good stuff. So I don't feel like that should be on the list. Neither do I feel like the next one should be on this list. It is spaghetti and meatballs on a stick. It's basically just meatballs. I don't
Seems
know where
fine.
the spaghetti is.
It's like going to Subway getting a meatball sub, except they just stick a stick in it. That's all it looks like.
Yeah.
Seems fine to me.
Oh wait, no, hang on. Here's the problem. I just read
God.
the description. The spaghetti is mixed up inside the meatball, like they've
What?
mushed it all together in a bowl.
No,
and
that's
then
a
they've
that's a
cooked it.
crime. That's a hate crime
That's a
against
crime,
Italians.
right. Yeah,
Yeah, that'd be still. I'd be angry right now.
The next one, though, we did just talk about donut hamburgers. It's the Krispy Kreme hamburger from
No.
Alabama. 2 glazed Krispy Kreme donuts
No.
in place of the buns.
No.
And it's a quarter
No,
pound
no,
patty.
thank you.
That's just a heart attack.
What
and
the
foil.
fuck
Yeah.
is this next thing? What is
Back to
that?
pickles. This one's actually been around for many, many years. Kool-Aid pickles. So they just
Someone
instead of-
also known as Coolicles.
Kool-Aid.
Really cool.
So they add Kool-Aid powder to the pickle brine, and they just get sweeter pickles. That's it. So
I don't know if I'd eat that.
Basically.
I don't like Kool-Aid, so I don't like pickles either.
Never drink the Kool-Aid. That's what they say.
Never.
Yeah. In Illinois, they have alligator on a stick. So it's just alligator meat deep fried after being battered and put on a stick, which again is just different.
After
meat.
enjoying some gator antics at the State Fair's Swamp Master Alligator Show, visitors can sample the entertainment deep fried.
Oh, see, that adds like a sinister layer to it, right? They're viewing the alligators, then they
Well,
eat
eating 'em.
immediately. Yeah. That's like a vague threat to the ones that you're watching. Yeah, you better put on a good show or you're ended up on a stick.
Yeah, literally.
Next one is Arkansas with deep fried egg on a stick.
That seems fine, to be honest.
Yeah, it's just a hard boiled egg with batter, fried, put on a stick. That's fine. I think that's
Moving
not
along.
offensive. Deep fried White Castle burgers from California. That's just a whole burger covered in batter, deep fried.
That's fine.
In the deep
I
fry.
feel like I've seen that in here, Australia before.
Yeah, I've definitely seen TikToks where people deep fry their cheeseburger and just stuck it in.
Next one up is topical for us. Kangaroo Spideys. I don't know what that means. So it is a sandwich that is known as a Spidey, featuring marinated cubes of grilled meat on a soft Italian roll. So it's just kangaroo meat
No,
in a
it
roll.
says while chicken, lamb, or beef is common, filling kangaroo loin made an unexpected replacement in 2011. So normally it's chicken, lamb, or beef, but then they rocked up this year and they're like kangaroo.
Yeah, I still don't see a problem with that.
So
It's
what the
just a meat
fuck
roll.
is the next one?
Oregon has a food item called a roadkill, which is a flattened deep fried dough that looks like it was tried to cross the road at the wrong time. So they draw like sad face onto it and put fruit on it and
Like
decorate
tire
it to
marks on it. And...
look like roadkill. Yeah.
Oh my
So
god, why does it
that's
get
fun.
worse?
Chocolate covered scorpions in California.
No.
Just no,
Ugh,
that's a
yuck.
hard no.
No.
I don't even want to. Next one seems fine. I would eat it. Deep fried mashed potato on a stick. So
Yep.
just mashed potato
I'm on
balls
board
deep
with
fried.
that. That sounds good.
Yeah,
Man.
that sounds good. Fried Pepsi, South Carolina. It's like the fried lemonade and fried beer.
Yeah,
I
I
guess.
saw Meech made the comment of fried lemonade, which I'm intrigued. I'm more
Yeah,
interested in
same.
trying fried lemonade over fried beer any day of
Yeah.
the week.
Oh, it's syrup.
Yeah.
Oh, that could work
Ah.
actually. That'd
It's
be
injected with the Pepsi syrup, so it's dough balls injected with syrup. I get it.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, that sounds fun. Next though is the Iowa Octodog. It's just a hot dog cut into an octopus, which is something they do in Japan all the time for bento boxes, so it's not that weird.
Yeah.
I like hot dogs, so we talked about that.
Iowa's
last one-
annual state fair prides itself among big animals: the big boar, the largest rabbit, the heaviest pigeon.
The diminutive octodog is just another mutant food slice, so it strips curl up.
I
by
want to
cooking-
see the heaviest pigeon. Sorry, you keep going. I'm going to Google something real
Well,
quick.
last one, okay, is Hawaii chicken fried bacon. The Maui County Fair is home to specialties like poi and banana lumpia and tuna poke. But vendors nod to mainland taste with chicken fried bacon, which I think is it's like bacon with a KFC sort of chicken coating on it. And then that doesn't sound bad at all. I think Aladi would be into that big time.
I would. Yum.
Did
KFC
find-
skin with bacon.
you find the heaviest pigeon?
I found like it's just the most common pigeon of the heaviest kind, 2.5 to 3 kilos in weight. It's about a cat, really. But it
I
doesn't
see
have...
the world's biggest pigeon. He's French. He's very big. He just looks like he's basically a pigeon, but he looks like a chicken. But he's pigeon colored, so it is that.
Getting very sidetracked here. Very sidetracked.
But yeah, that was the Sydney Easter show seems to be going in the direction of American state fairs, so we will see what happens next, I guess.
Yeah, I've been to the Melbourne show like the first time I was in Melbourne, and it was awful. It's just so many people.
We used to go every year.
It's like, hey, here have a shopping bag with 3 fucking caramello koalas and a sticker for $45. I'm like, what the fuck they call these? Show bags. Oh, interesting. Why is there 500 people trying to buy these fucking show bags? Get out of here. Oh my
Just
God.
buy them online. There's only a few that have ever been worth it.
The thing that got me, because obviously I grew up in the country, and country shows sort of different because there's nothing ever on except for, the show comes to town. It's like, oh my God, we could play Dodgem cars. But like they have like your horse riding and your wood chopping and all those sort of like traditional show stuff. And then when you go to the Melbourne show, they have that, but they also have like what would be normal for a lot of people. Like it's like, come see cats, like felines, mate. Well, I have a cat at home. A lot of people don't apparently, so they go to the show to see cats.
I've showed chickens at the show as somebody who was a chicken shower, poultry fancier as the word is. I used to take my chickens to the Melbourne show and other shows and enter them, and they'd get judged. And
Did you
I
win?
used to also I did a few times, not at the Melbourne show,
Nice.
but I also bought a prize-winning chicken at the Melbourne show because sometimes they'll sell them afterwards. I
So-
got a frizzle
I competed in my local show up in Mildura, where I grew up.
with chickens.
And I won in 2 fields. Can you guess what 2 things that I competed at the show for?
Probably plants related. Didn't you do like plant stuff at school?
I did do plant stuff at school, but no, that's not it. Didn't do
Fruit?
that at the show.
Was it fruit?
Bacon eating.
No, you're getting warmer though.
Cooking? Did you
Cooking.
do like a bake? Did you bake
Nice.
something?
Yeah, I baked cakes and I won awards for cakes. And the other one was art. I did for drawing. I won awards for
Ah.
drawing as well. as a kid.
Talented.
Lost all
lots
my
of
talent the
talented
second I finished school.
Yeah.
As you got to a teenager.
Found
I
video
used to
games. As soon as I found video games, it was over.
Yeah. I used to show chickens and like help judge chickens as well. And I was also my local club's designated chicken catcher whenever one would escape from the cages. And so I'd run around with a giant net and catch chickens and like crawl into weird dark corners with spiders everywhere to pull chickens out of walls and things like that.
None
So
of this
that
surprises
was
me
my
at
job.
all.
Yeah, no.
What makes a good chicken good?
It's all about breed standards. It's the same thing with dogs. It's like that, they've got a certain amount of like certain sort of shape of the crest, certain type of feathers, certain like body weight, body shape, how they stand up. I also had Indian runner ducks,
So-
and they're the sort of duck that stands up completely straight.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that's
I sometimes slip into the side of like competition, like that sort of thing. Not with chickens, though, with cats on TikTok, and yeah, they do. This is a short-haired British cat. Good length, good tail, good fur. And I keep thinking, if I ever gave them Chip, they'll be like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
Horrible fur. Just figured monster. Why is he biting me with his snapped off tooth that he bit something too hard with already?
I think my favorite chicken one, there's a chicken that's the Pekin chicken, so Pekin. The prize winning standard for them is like how much of a circle they resemble because they're big and fluffy. You just wanted to resemble like a beach ball. So I'll have to put a picture in our ZLB Topics channel, but you should definitely look it up if you're interested in seeing some round ass chickens.
Some round ass chickens. Yeah, now that we've talked about it, I kind of want to go to the show just to look at the animals. Just to see the other thing that I used to enjoy watching is also the dog show, particularly like at the show, like a Melbourne show or even the country show. You see that stuff because they're so like it's such amateur league that they just fuck up constantly. They're like, "Come on, dog, go over the thing," and they'll just go over and start fucking humping the wall or something like that. It was so good, but yeah. The only problem is that there's just far too many people at the show. That's the main reason why I don't want to go there. And kids and families and prams and awfulness. I just hate it all. I'd probably, if I was ever back in my hometown when the show was on at the same time, I'd probably go there and check that out. But yeah, when I was a kid, all I used to buy is like cap guns and play fucking dodging cars and shit, and that's it.
My family used to go to like the food hall with all the vendors giving out free samples, and we would run around and try and collect as many free samples as we could. And any wonder I ended up fat, but we used to also bring home just like every like full size product sample we could. We'd send every kid to the same store like 5 minutes apart, so we'd all get one each instead of just one per family.
I do that shit at Costco. Do you have a Costco?
We've never been.
I've been, yeah.
You just get heaps blazes and go to
if
Costco.
you go on like the weekend, pretty much at the end of every aisle, they're giving away free samples, and it's like
Ooh.
and
Always.
half the time though, they don't even really care. They're just like, I'm here to give it away. You want free samples? I'm like, fuck yeah, I'll take it.
Although I'm actually pretty bad at samples actually working on me. So the other day I was at Coles and a guy gave me a free sample of some basil pesto, and then I was walking out of there with basil pesto, and I don't really eat it that much. So
what the fuck? It
good.
worked? I
Yeah,
just eat it and go, yeah, it's nice. I
I'm
wouldn't buy it.
extremely susceptible to good advertising of people being nice to me. Okay, if you're nice to me, I'll eat the things, I'll buy the things.
There you go.
You know.
The secret's out. You just have to be nice, and Shelby will buy it. We are back, and it is that time again. Shelby,
Yeah, I'm excited about this.
is
one.
Port
So
Fury still shit?
Has to be.
It's not.
What? No.
Oh, what?
I'm serious this time. Last time I did it as like pulling your leg. It's not still shit. Number 10 is now Logan, Queensland. Still shit. But I want you to really listen.
That place is the equivalent of Mount Druitt.
Yeah.
Yeah. I want you to really listen to the ones I'm about to say and tell me if you notice a pattern, okay?
Okay.
Alright. So we're going to get started with number 9, is Nambour, Queensland. Ibis tests positive for hepatitis after finding a used needle in a rubbish bin.
What the fuck?
A poor bin chicken got stabbed and somebody's used needle thrown into a rubbish bin. and got
Let that
hepatitis.
be a lesson for everybody. Don't handle needles, no matter where you find them, or if you're a bird.
Don't improperly dispose of them. It's supposed to go in needle disposal things.
Don't use needles.
Yeah. Man, so in Newell, Queensland, number 8, man bitten by croc while sleeping on a beach.
Fantastic. Fantastic.
No real comment. Just take him to the state fair, put him on a stick, I guess.
Yeah, that's it. He's a fucking drunk on a stick on a beach.
Yeah. Number 7 is Mackay, Queensland. Gronk fronts court after ripping 10-meter burnout while 5.5 times on the alcohol limit before smashing into 2 parked cars in front of off-duty cop.
Fantastic. Well done,
That man
mate.
had a big
Got the
night.
hat trick.
He just goes, oh, it's just a mistake, mate. Just fucking.
Yeah, he had his bingo card and just got a straight line in that. Next is Ingham, Queensland, number 6. Pest convicted for wanking in front of woman and her adult daughter. Just why?
Just is it like just what in the street, supermarket, McDonald's, like what?
That's all. But I think the standout thing here is like obviously this happens, and unfortunately a lot of cases aren't convicted. But this guy was actually convicted, so good job, law, I guess that time.
I mean, probably didn't stop.
Yeah.
I feel he didn't. He was on a mission.
He had to finish.
Good lord. Number 5 is Gold Coast, Queensland. A woman was charged with fraud after trying to blame mobile phone driving fine on a helicopter crash victim.
What? How?
Because I think the woman who crashed a helicopter was unable to be the one driving the car. She was snapped on the phone while driving.
Yeah, right. Okay.
Yeah.
Is the pattern that this is all in Queensland?
Every single one this week is in Queensland.
Fucking Queensland.
That's why I think they looked at all the 9 top ones and they were like, we
Bloody
can't say
cane
Port
toads.
Fury is still shit. We want to have like all Queensland sweep this week. So
Mate, are you sure you looked up like Shit Towns of Australia? You're not Shit Towns of Queensland? Or?
no, definitely Sht Towns Australia. It's pretty wild.
Yeah, right.
Inala, Queensland, number 4, rugby league thug kicks ref in the throat.
Jesus Christ.
I didn't even see this in the news, but that sounds brutal. Jesus.
Yeah, okay.
The next one is just kind of like somebody didn't go to primary school and learned that platypuses are venomous because this guy snatched a platypus from a river and took it for a train ride.
Why?
Oh my god.
Why? Shaking
That
my
was in
head in
Morayfield in
disappointment.
Queensland.
That person can go hang out with the person who took their Instagram photo with the blue ring octopus. Fucking idiots.
Just holding it. Bloody hell.
Next up is Cairns in Queensland. A 13-year-old boy was charged after allegedly stabbing a man on a bus. So,
Fantastic. Gotta love it.
just
Queenslander.
The last one is a few events in. Actually, you know what? Guess which town in Queensland?
Is it Logan?
No, Logan's already been on there.
Oh.
Gold Coast?
Nope. I feel like you can get this one.
Brisbane?
When I say it, you're gonna be like, oh,
Go on and say.
Townsville.
Ah,
It's always Townsville.
Townsville.
First one is aged care worker sentenced for robbing elderly patients. Then cops flee after being rammed by a stolen car. Then meth head jailed for smashing gravestones. Then a cop called to woman overdosing while shoving sex toys in her vagina.
Jesus.
So wild.
Wow,
news
that's a
happened in
real
Townsville.
left turn at the end there. I like to imagine that all this shit happens at the same time. Like they have a quiet week and it's like, wow, it's really been a quiet week, guys. And then they're like, oh, you said it. You've jinxed it now. Then all this happens at once.
All this happens in Queensland at one time.
Queenslander.
Yeah. So Queensland that is the first time in, maybe like 2 years that Port Pirie hasn't been on the list. It's just a Queensland sweep. So the times are changing. I wonder if Logan will be on the next week or Port Pirie will be back.
I actually have no idea where or what Logan is in Queensland, but it sounds shit. Reminds me of Logan Paul. So
Full of housing
Wow.
commission.
It is a small area in southeast Queensland. The
And it's
photos
full of
looks like
islanders.
oh
I'm
really?
telling you.
but looks like it's just a dirt patch kind of area. Not much going on there. Looks like my old town actually.
Crazy. So that's probably. I mean, yeah, it's a bit of a shock that was all of them. Yeah.
Yeah, that was everyone.
It's shocking that it's all Queensland, but what's more shocking is that Tasmania didn't even make it into there, or New
That is shocking.
South
Usually
Wales.
they've been doing really well.
They've been laying low.
But
Last week they.
I actually think it's like I think Dark Mofo's this weekend or next week. If you don't know what that is, it's like a wild fucking arts festival that's in Tasmania, and I would have thought that for sure whatever they're doing there makes them whatever. Like give you an idea. When I had to go work in Tasmania, Dark Mofo was on, which I'm like, what the fuck is Dark Mofo? Because there's literally a giant neon sign in the middle of Hobart, like huge thing, just so the words Dark Mofo on it. I'm like, what the fuck is that? Anyway, they swear that wasn't a cult, but the topic of the year was that they were sacrificing a goat to the satanic ritual for Dark Mofo, and
Right.
and all the Tasmanians were like, this is normal. And everyone else is like, that's fucked up, dude.
Mm-hmm.
And that just sort of sums up what Dark Mofo in Tasmania is like, really. It's a bit weird.
Yeah.
A little bit weird.
Isn't it?
So, yeah, I'm surprised I didn't make it in the top 10. That's kind of disappointing.
Very disappointing.
Oh, well. Good on you, Queenslander.
Damn Queenslanders.
Get him a
Queenslander.
trophy or something. Just ship it to like their MP.
I kind of want to just like go back to back if they can, you know. Also, Shelby, you
see.
posted these pictures of chickens in the podcast topics channel here.
What's wrong with them?
It looks like a wig that Karens would wear.
It actually
It does. It looks like.
Yeah.
Is that a good chicken?
That is a perfect chicken. Both those chickens are perfect chickens.
So they look like Karen wigs. They're a good chicken.
Yeah.
Karen
Well,
wigs.
if they're that breed, yeah. Yeah.
We are mindful of time. We are running out of time here, but I just want to do some rapid fire things because I chucked a few things to this channel, but I don't know how to talk about them. I just didn't know this sort of shit existed. First one was the chip pizza, which is it's a pizza with potato chips on it. Didn't know that was a thing. Apparently big in the UK.
I used to put chips on pizza and just eat it together.
Yeah, well, you can order them and get them delivered to your house and stuff.
From where, Dominic?
No, not in Australia. It's a UK
Oh.
thing. I just didn't know it was a thing. So that was interesting. The thing that popped up. I'm like, what the fuck is a chip pizza? The other thing I saw was that Village Cinemas here in Australia are re-releasing some classic films. I'm a big fan of the Friday night drive-ins, Fast and the Furious. Every Friday's Fast and Furious movie playing at the drive-in. Fucking great idea. They also
Amazing.
had the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles live-action movie with Smell-O-Vision.
I don't know how I feel about that.
Comes apparently originally when it came out, it came with like a scratch and sniff sticker card, whatever. So you'd scratch it, sniff it, you could smell the ooze. It's
What does ooze smell like?
fucking, I don't know. It comes out of the sewer. What do you think it smells like? Yeah, this is not so much a joke as a what the fuck. This is actually kind of a smart idea. But Acme here in Melbourne, the Australian Centre for Moving Image, have a Goddess Wikipedia editathon. And basically what it is, it's like a free course to help train females into how to edit Wikipedia because there's not enough females editing Wikipedia. So then the female people, celebrities, historical figures, everything else, and everything that they're
Written by
interested in,
men.
they're just being edited by men. So they want
Yeah.
females to take back the narrative. Please learn to edit your Wikipedia entries. So they have a whole course where a bunch of women get together with computers and they go.
I think
And,
it's actually really, really important because a lot of
I never even thought about this before, but yeah, if the internet's
Well, you're a
dominated by
man.
men, and an open source encyclopedia like a Wikipedia is dominated by men, then women are going to be forgotten.
it's not even just that, right? It's not just Wikipedia. It's all like a lot of history books and everything about women written by men, and that is a big problem because it misses a lot of the nuance about like being a woman.
Yes, but Wikipedia is like the number one source on the internet now, and it's open source. You and me can go there and do it.
I've already done it recently. I fixed somebody made a article about a trans woman who was in a band in like the 60s and they were dead naming her, so I fixed it and put a source there about how that she's actually trans.
Yeah, so that's a little good course. Acme actually does a lot of courses. If you live in Melbourne, you listen to the podcast, and you're interested in that, particularly like women in gaming or like anything like that, anything supporting women in that whole industry, they do a lot of courses in that. So if you're interested,
And
definitely
they
check it out.
have a girls gamer book club or
They
something.
sure do. There's two things here. One, Shelby, you should talk about, but then, well, we'll do yours first. The person that installed OBS on a Walmart demo computer and then started a live stream.
Yeah, so they started a live stream. The person who tweeted it actually thought, oh yeah, this has only been up for like 12 hours, right? Unfortunately, he was wrong, and it actually had already been up for about a week.
Yeah.
Streaming the inside of a Walmart from a random computer, and the stream was called, or the streamer was called Walmart 00012, and they were streaming. The title was 24/7 Great Value Broadcasting System 01, just chatting, and everyone was in there just commenting and like hyping up, the janitor as like a celebrity, being like, "Look at him pushing his card, it's amazing," and just like freaking the fuck out anytime anything would happen.
I saw XQC watching this.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
It did get banned, but it was
Oh,
people,
spill.
hundreds of people watching it at a time, and it was amazing.
It had more viewers than I get. So I'm starting to think we might have a content change coming. I'll just
Just set up a camera inside a house or something, and just leave
Yeah.
it and walk past it occasionally.
last
Chip
one
cam.
last one that I wanted to talk about, last topic. 14-year-old boy with size 24 feet
Holy.
So you're just talking about yourself when you were a child, right? You
I'm
big ass foot person.
the biggest my feet were as a kid was 13. The biggest they've ever gotten is like 15, 16.
My feet
And that was
size
big.
12.
My cousin was on the news at 18 size feet.
Yeah, this is a problem, right? I've talked about this before. If we have a child, it's gonna be problematic for our
Gonna have
finances.
some
to
flippers
raise
on him.
I have size 12 feet. You have size 13 to 15 feet. Our kid's going to be so bullied. We're going to have to homeschool them, like preemptively make that decision in advance. We're going to be bankrupt of buying shoes, and we're going to have to put them on news websites.
Wait, do you have to get custom made shoes?
Yes, absolutely. And like,
Because
this is the
my
thing.
mate does as well.
They're like 1,500. I don't have to. No, I can get mine. I can get New Balances at like 16, like size whatever. So I saw this article and then I saw a TikTok on it and stuff like that. My mind went to two. All right, I have a joke and I have a wholesome response. Which would you like?
Wholesome response first, then joke.
So kid with size 24 feet needs to spend nearly $2,000 on getting custom made shoes.
Shoes.
Adidas and Nike said unless he's a professional athlete that they can sponsor, they're not going to do it for him. So Shaq said, "I'll do it for you." And Shaq went and got his brand of shoes.
Under Armour.
Yep, to make those shoes for him. So he's all hooked up now. He's being looked after
Great.
by Shaq.
Shaq's always doing that
Yeah, he's a fucking
sort of stuff.
He's a top G.
legend.
It's as simple as that. He's a good bloke.
He is.
Um,
Just goes to the shopping center, finds a kid, goes, "Do you want a bike?"
Yeah.
He's like, "Choose whatever bike you
when
want."
he goes into the shopping center, it's just like he just fucking owns the place. He's the main character in that story, and he's like he'll see people looking at bikes and shit, and he's just like, "You want it?
Yeah.
I'll buy it." He says, "I'll pay for this bike." Yeah, it's as simple as that. That's it. He just fucking swipe his card and away he goes. And then obviously my other thought process was, well, if he's struggling to pay for it, he could probably get on Feet Finder with size feet.
Wow.
Bro, that's it. That's it.
There's not many size 24 feet out there. All right, he could be making some bank. All right?
Put your feet on Wiki Feet.
Yeah.
I feel like the saddest thing in this situation is the kid was reduced to wearing Crocs most of the time, and nobody should be reduced to wearing Crocs
What do
Oh,
you
man,
mean?
I've been rocking them all the time now.
If you wear Crocs, you have to at least have gibbets with lights on them.
Oh
as
my
a
I
God.
do.
notice.
No, I don't have lights.
Look
Like
at the gibbets.
Crocs should be a choice, not a necessity. You know.
But yeah, no, it's just as someone who struggles to find big feet anyway, to think that's like
Big
nearly
shoes.
10 sizes bigger than me even. They have some big fucking feet. Like I want to know exactly they'll be like 50 centimeters. Yeah, half-meter long feet.
Yeah, mine are 27 centimeters long.
Victoria has a point in chat. He should be swimming. This man should be swimming.
Got some flippers on him.
It's just funny. It's like you just see him be like a shark fucking
Well,
fin.
so here's the thing. This kid does play sports. He does not swim. He plays American football,
yeah.
and he is double the height of his teammates.
He's
So-
also like with feet like that, you're not knocking this man over.
no, he is built like a brick shit house. So good on him for finding what he's good at.
Yeah, and it's the same thing with my cousin. He played AFL, and it was getting the boots and the size of his feet that really held him back. And then I think it was the Footscray. I think we're helping him out, Footscray Footy Club. We're helping him out at the time, and it's like I don't know. It's just, I guess it's like a sports thing, isn't it? It's like basketball is always a fucking built fucking lanky tall motherfuckers, and then American football people are always they're built out of bricks in general.
So
Well,
right,
do you know
hang
who
on,
Dennis
hold on.
Rodman is? The basketball
Yeah,
player? I've read a story. He used to be a janitor until he had a growth spurt at 21.
And then
decided
he's
to
like,
just go
"That's
play
it."
basketball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
5 years later, played for the Pistons.
Alright, so if we
And
have
wow,
a
he's good
child-
too.
If we have a kid
Yeah,
and they're gonna have
yeah.
big feet, probably be really tall, and so
Probably.
we should get them into sports early.
Maybe. Yeah. I mean, I've got a cousin who's 7 foot in the basketball.
We got to make a little basketballer.
I remember, it's the last thing we'll talk about because we've got to wrap things up. But I remember I was serving people at work and these people came in and they were fucking, when I say tall, they were bigger than the aisles. And like, I don't have to look up to many people, but I could struggle. And I said to them, I was like talking to them about some stuff they need or whatever. And they definitely had an American accent. And I said, "Are you guys like here on holiday or whatever?" And they're like, "Oh, basketball training camp." Like, that makes so much sense. These were like college basketball players. And like the shortest would have been 7 foot. They were huge, like duck to get out of the door kind of people. And I'm just like, imagine being that fucking tall. It's insane. Like a friend of mine who I also work with, who was also there that day, right? She's 4'8", right? So two of them, her standing on her shoulders would have been maybe as tall. It's fucking insane. But yeah, it's just crazy. But yeah, it's good. It's good to see. I suppose the point of the story is it's good to see that someone like Shaq, who is a giant in every aspect of the word, recognizes the pain and knows that he has an ability to help out and helps out, which is what
Like I face that sort of issue because growing up, with big feet as a woman, female shoes, like pretty ones, tend to stop at about size 10, 11. And I also struggled for a really long time to buy high heels. Where I ended up buying high heels was through drag queen shops.
and that is quite literally an episode of King of the Hill.
Yeah.
Where Peggy Hill has big feet and she has to sneak off to the drag shop to buy shoes, remember?
Fucking no.
And then everyone thinks she's a drag queen.
That's me.
Yes,
I'm Peggy
queen.
Hill. Drag queens are there helping me, and I love them. And
Oh man, it's such a relatable episode. It's like they took Shelby's life and turned it into an episode of TV.
Yeah.
Oh man, on that bombshell, we better wrap things up. We are at time, but hey, thanks for listening, everybody. And what is everyone up to this week? I think I'm going to finish Crime Boss this week if it kills me. We've still got another day off for Easter, thank God. And then I'm going to be picking up some Dead Island later in the week with Dead Island 2 coming out, I think, next week. I think Shelby's watching Marvelous Miss Maisel or whatever the fuck.
Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, the final season comes out on the 15th.
She's got to stream too, though.
That. I will stream. Wait, hang on. No, it comes out. Oh wait, it's okay. I can stream on Thursday and watch it on Friday. That's all good. I had to.
Doesn't it come out on Wednesday? You'll watch it on Wednesday night, won't you?
It doesn't come out on Wednesday.
When's it come out?
The 15th. Friday.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Yeah, anyway, so I've got to be watching that. But I also have just opened up my website, pixelnook.net, pixelnook.net, just where I post reviews on different media, lots of film reviews and stuff on there. I'm going to keep building it and posting on there. So hopefully if you want to take a look at what I do and invite me to places so I can write about it, we'll be there. And streaming on Twitch, Shell Bunny, and Twitter has everything else at Shell Bunny _.
What are you going to play this week?
Me?
Yeah.
Hitman.
Oh my God, back.
No, actually, I do have some things I'm toying with the idea of streaming.
Ooh.
I kind of want to. I don't know if I'll be able to stream it, but I want to get into Hotel Renovation Simulator because I've been playing a lot of House Flipper, and it's sort of in that vein, and maybe some other management games. We'll see.
Nice.
Dame, what are you up to?
Yeah, I'm definitely streaming Freelancer. So
Hell yeah.
I've got my geared. I'm a little bit geared up now. So I was partially playing it today, and it's made it so much easier. I can make money now.
Yeah, low-key, I've been playing Crime Boss and thinking I should be playing Hitman and leveling myself up in that game because I'm more likely to keep playing that than I am this. But I gotta finish
Freelancers.
it.
Freelancers been good. Still hard, man. Trying to work out how the fuck to kill some targets.
Yeah, I started watching guides on like quickest way to get like silenced weapons and Freelancer and stuff like that. Like
Yeah, the assassins.
Yeah.
But I've worked out now when you like looking for the syndicate bosses, like they got the phone.
right.
So you can. What I've been doing is just like getting one of them, killing him, grabbing the phone, and then running to a spot where I make them all come.
Oh, okay.
And then I just keep popping them off one by one.
Hell
and
yeah.
then when the assassin comes, taking his loot.
That's the problem. I've never done the successful assassin at the end.
Oh man, it's taken time.
It takes too long.
When my missus call it the game, they give me the rage. Man,
hell yeah.
it gives you the rage.
Apart from that, I think we'll probably have some announcements on the next podcast. I know personally, I'm going to DreamHack, which is here in Melbourne at the end of the month, and we may or may not have a panel that we can talk about by next weekend. That I'll be on. Shelby will be there, but Shelby might be doing stuff there as well. We don't know yet.
Something. I'll be there either way.
Figure it out. It should be good. But yeah, we got some shit coming up, and also this is episode 85, so we're getting up there. We're going to start thinking about what we're going to do if we crack 100. If we make it to 100 without being cancelled, we should probably celebrate it in some way. Or we'll get cancelled, one or the other. It's whatever happens first, we'll find out. If we invite Frog back, we might have to, get cancelled.
Get some stories happening.
Oh God. But yeah. Anyway, thanks for listening, everybody. You can listen to us live 6 p.m. every Sunday. We stream on twitch.tv/ZombiesLvBAcon. Otherwise, we're ZLBpodcast on every major platform, and you can follow us on Twitter to keep up with when stuff is happening. Apart from that, have a great Easter. I hope everyone gets some chocolate. And I hope Shelby doesn't steal your chocolate like she tried to steal mine.
I didn't try to steal it.
No, you successfully
ate
stole
it.
it. And then I got it back.